A garden arbor can really transform a garden or create a cute focal point in your yard. So here's a 5-minute tutorial on how you can build one for yourself. So I'm here at my parents' home in northern New South Wales, and we have this little cute walkway going down to the lowest backyard, and we're just going to build a little arbor here purely for decorative purposes to frame the pathway. So the materials that we need are all laid out here. The first thing we need is framing timber to form the 4 posts of the garden arbor. Then we're going to be using this timber here, which will form the beams which will run between the posts, and then more framing timber to form rafters that run between the beams. And just so that Mum can grow some vines up the side of the trellis, we're going to use some lattice as well. And this pink primed timber here is what will hold the lattice in place. We'll be building a little cleat using this pink primed material. And we have a couple of timber decorative veranda brackets as well, again just to dress it up a little bit. So it's really important just to make sure that you do use exterior grade H3 treated pine or any exterior grade timber. Hardwood as well would work to make sure that it lasts a long time. So let's get into it. We've cut all the timbers to length now. So here are the 4 posts, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because with this arbor, we're doing the lattice up the 2 sides of the arbor, we're basically building 2 separate framed pieces with the top plate and the bottom plate, and the lattice will sit in here. The 2 frames have been assembled now, and we just used batten screws in the end to fix it all together. And then the next step is to use, this is 18 by 18 mil pink primed pine, which will sit inside the frame like this. And this will become a cleat which will hold the lattice in place. And once you've cut the pink primed pine, which forms the cleats, just make sure you do paint the raw ends of this just to help prevent rotting. So they're all in, and then this will just fit in like so. The 2 side frames are fully built now, and we're just using 2 lengths of 140 by 45 mil treated pine to form the 2 beams that will connect the 2 side pieces. And then we're aiming for roughly 200 mil overhang on either side for the decorative end pieces, and that will be the right proportion. Just in the ends of these beams, we were going to cut little half moon round detail on the ends, but we actually left our jigsaw at home and Dad doesn't have one. So we're just going to have to go the super basic option, and that is just to cut it off on an angle. And I'm basically just doing it by sight. I typically come up 2/3 of the way here and start at that point. And that's about 40 mil, so I'm going to come in roughly 40 mil from the post as well. And I'm just doing this purely by eye. There's no really wrong or right way of doing this. And if you like, you can also just arras the edges as well, just to take off that sharp edge there, just with a planer. We're going to use this slightly smaller profile framing timber. It's 70 by 35 to build rafters that go between the 2 beams.
This is for two purposes. It's structural, it'll help it give it some rigidity, as well as just being a decorative feature as well. To check out these little notches, all we did was set the drop saw to 20 mil because that's as deep as we want the notch to be. And then Simon actually just did a bunch of little random cuts with the drop saw. And then just to finish it off, just get a chisel and a hammer and basically just pop them out. And that's it. So the way we're installing it is we're actually just using our star pickets. They're 700 long star pickets that have gone 400 mil into the ground, and we will fix those off to the posts. And we're keeping the timber off the ground just a little bit, just so it doesn't rot. And we just added these little decorative veranda brackets just to soften the corners. And she's done.
If you have any questions about the arbor, please feel free to comment below and I'll get back to you. Also on my channel, I share heaps of other DIY projects, design tips and tricks and hacks, plus my renovation and new build projects. So if that kind of thing is up your alley, then please hit the subscribe button. And this video shows some of my favorite architectural details, such as farmhouse architraves, balustrading, shingles, and closed-in stairs. So if you want to see how we build those, again, touch the card on the screen to watch. Here is another DIY project, building this DIY porch swing. So please tap on the card on the screen to watch this video. That's all from me for now. Thanks for watching.